What's up, friends and fam? It's your girl Cam Reeds, and today I'm coming to talk to you guys about being aware, remaining observant. So this one is more of a safety video for women and fellas. You can use it too, and also want to share with you my experience being followed by a stranger a couple years ago, and what that was like for me. So let's get into it. So about 10 years ago, I was seeing a gentleman and I was meeting him late night at a casino. And so he had been there gambling. It was probably about 12:30, 1 in the morning. And I was like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah, I'll come up there. I'll meet you. Well, I get to the casino. I am not ready. So I'm sitting in my car and I'm painting my toenails. This car from where I'm parked kind of along an edge here. So I'm parked, so it will be perpendicular to the parking spaces. The assigned parking spaces, just kind of on this, like, around the curb. So I'm parked there and I see this car come flying by me, and I see them fly to the end of the row, and then they go to the end of the row and they back into a space. And so I'm like, wow, that was a whole lot of extraness for nothing. Like, you come flying down this aisle just to park in this space. So I'm in the car painting my toenails, not really paying it too much mind, but I'm aware of where the car is. And so as I'm sitting in the car, I'm in my car for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and that car's still sitting there. So now I'm sitting in my car just wondering, well, what is this person doing? Why are they just parked there? I haven't seen anybody come out of the casino and go to the car. I haven't seen them try and go in. And so I'm in my car with the light off watching them. I see somebody on the seats kind of lean up and look around. And so convinced, like, okay, I'm just being paranoid, whatever. I get out of my car, I walk, I lock my doors, I walk around the back, and I start walking on the sidewalk. So where me and this gentleman are, if I am parked right here, there's a sidewalk over here. If he is parked way over here, there's a sidewalk here, and they both converge in the middle towards the casino door. And it's also important to note that it had been raining that night. So I'm walking on the sidewalk closest to me, and as I get out my car, make it just to the back bumper and onto the sidewalk, I see the person from that car get out. And so I'm still walking, and I'm walking forward, I'm on my sidewalk, but they get out. The person has on a baseball cap, just a regular plaid shirt, jeans, sneakers, and the baseball cap is pulled very low on their face. And so instead of getting on their sidewalk, which is close to them, I see this person walking across wet grass in the middle of the night to be behind me on the sidewalk when the other one was close to them. So I'm aware, and I find that odd. So I'm walking, and I put a little bit more pep in my step, and I'm listening because I can hear this person's footsteps behind me. And I'm kind of glancing over my shoulder, and I'm looking to see where they are. And this person has not picked their head up. So they have the baseball hat, but all you can see is the cap because their face is down. They're walking on the sidewalk behind me, but they haven't looked up. They've even crossed wet grass to get on the sidewalk behind me versus their sidewalk. So at this point, I'm getting a little bit nervous. So I'm walking, still walking. I still have a little bit of a decent ways to go to get to the front door, but I am listening to their footsteps behind me. So I'm hearing what is their foot strike? How close are their steps together? Are they taking big steps? Does it sound like they're getting closer? And as I'm walking, I notice that they're picking up their pace. So I pick up my pace. Mind you, I'm at like a full out, like, I look like I'm brisk power walking at this point. This person behind me is also like power walking, again, without lifting their head. So I get off the sidewalk and I get to the front. I get the sidewalk, I jump into the middle of the street. Because where my sidewalk curved, it curved along the edge and there were tall trees and landscape. And me knowing that if this person's following me, the last thing I want to do is be by tall shrubbery and landscape where people may or may not be able to see me or to hear what's going on. I walk in the middle of the street where cars and traffic would be coming. And so as I get off the sidewalk, this person gets off the sidewalk and now they're in the street. And so now I got back on the sidewalk and now they're back on the sidewalk. And so in my mind, I am starting to panic. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to throw this purse and start screaming at the top of my lungs and run. And then again, the other part of me is like, am I being paranoid? Is this person truly following? Mind you, all signs point to yes, right? They've been in their car. They didn't get out until after I got out. They didn't walk on their sidewalk. They're behind my sidewalk. I'm in the street, they're in the street. I'm on the sidewalk, they're in the sidewalk. All of their clothes, if I had to describe it to someone, can be any person walking in America. Baseball cap, jeans, shirt, and shoes. Nothing about their appearance stood out. Their eyes were covered. The hat was covering most of their face. I couldn't tell you what this person looked like. So I am at this point brisk walk / running over towards valet. And you guys, the scariest part about it is when I finally reached valet, because again, I'm like, I'm about to drop everything and sprint. I get to where the valet is, and it's a lit up section right in front of the casino. And I stop and I turn around, and I kid you not, this person is not yet in the lit up section. When they see me at the valet, at the casino opening, stop and look around, they pick their head up, look directly at me, turn around, and start marching back to their car. Scariest experience of my life. I went to the casino completely shaken. I went and found security. I sat down there. I called my mother, crying hysterical because I could not believe what could have happened or what could have been happening. And all these thoughts ran through my mind, like, so you're just going to take me? Like, I'm a grown woman, I'm out here, and you just going to think you're going to come just snatch me? And I tell that story to say, what would have happened had I not been aware? And sometimes it's scary because I'm out here, y'all, and I'd be driving around, just out and about, and so many of us are not paying attention, and we're not aware to what's going around in our immediate environment, our immediate surroundings. We are on our phones and we are distracted. I sit at lights and I see people on the phone and they haven't even looked up to see who's next to them at the parking lot. Like, if I was crazy and had a big old bazooka, you'd never see it till it was too late. So my point in saying all that and telling my story is thank you for thinking of me and sending me those direct messages. But I want someone to think about themselves. Take that extra moment to be aware, because there is danger in the world. And as much as you guys know, I love positive thinking and the power of attracting what it is that you are and your frequency and what you're vibrating, there is very much real danger that you still have to be aware of. And so ladies and gentlemen, if you were outside and you are anywhere, you have to be observant. Okay, it is a must and it is imperative, especially at the rate that young women and girls, especially young Black women and girls, are disappearing. The sex trafficking industry is a multi-billion-dollar global industry. And it isn't happening somewhere else. It's happening here. It's happening everywhere. And so you must be diligent. Pay attention. Notice the cars that are next to you when you park. Don't go parking. I know some of y'all have these nice cars and you don't want them being scratched, but that nice car and that scratch is not worth you parking so far that if something were to happen, no one sees it or can help you. Also, when you walk to your car, a couple things to keep in mind in safety practices, some best practices: keep a hand free. Never have a lot of bags in your hands, because that can signal to people that if they were to grab you, you're not even able to defend yourself, to grab anything. So make sure your hands aren't super full. If it's nighttime and you feel unsafe, most places do have security. They can escort you to your car. Use it. Don't be so egotistical or caught up that you're like, I don't need security. Use it. If there's someone that makes you feel uncomfortable as you're leaving an establishment or something you see, go back inside. Wait inside till someone can walk you to your vehicle. They're leaving things on the front of the windshield. So once you get in your car, immediately do this, because a lot of us don't, ladies. We get in the car, we don't lock the doors, we're scrolling on our phone, we're on Instagram, we're checking our music, we're adjusting the radio. You need to get into your car and lock your doors immediately. Okay, you actually should leave, but I get it. So if you don't leave, get in, lock the door so that no one else can get in behind you. Make sure that when you're getting into your car, a best practice I always look in my back seat. Always, 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 without fail. And I've done that for years. Before I open my door, I peek in my back seat. I peek towards my trunk because I have an SUV, and I make sure no one's in there, because that has happened to women before. I always have my key prepared before I get to the door that I need to open, because I don't want to be there fumbling or have someone see that. So I take my key out before I get there. I've got my hand on the panic button as I'm walking. I've got my hand on the unlock button, and I lock it as soon as I get in the car. Okay. So those are just some things. So just be diligent, just be mindful. Again, I wanted to come on here today. I know it's a longer video, so I apologize. Share my story with you guys. Share some things that I do, precautions I take. If you like this content and you want to see more, go ahead and follow me _, or at _Cam_Reads_, or you can follow me on YouTube too. Search Cam Reads. I don't have a picture up yet, but that'll be coming soon. As always, y'all, I hope that this reaches somebody, touches somebody, blesses somebody. And as always, peace and love. Be safe.